It was goodbye, Switzerland, the country that really stole my heart and blew me out of the water with its beauty. I left, and now there's London, and there was more to see here for me. I always thought Linda in London would have a really nice ring to it. Let's see if my experiences would live up to that sort of title.
Linda in London is here. I'm in the outskirts of London right now, around West Moseley, and it's my first day going out and about to visit the city. My data is not working. I'm having a hard time contacting the company. I don't know if it's something wrong with my credit card, which there shouldn't be, or there's something wrong with the technical issues on their side. So I've sent emails and now I'm just waiting to hear back. But today I'm going out, no data, new country, never been here before, relying off of screenshots that I've taken on my phone when I had Wi-Fi to go. And I guess this is what people did back when there was no technology and there was just maps. So I have a knack for attracting the right people at the right times. So I'm really hopeful and I'm scared, and this is a little bit frightening and really stressful. Like, this is a traveler's worst nightmare. If you don't have data and your credit card might not be working, that's a nightmare. So fingers crossed, I'm going to visit Kensington Square with the Victoria and Albert Museum and the Natural Historical Museum and the Science Museum. So let's see how it goes. I'm excited and scared.
A few moments later.
And I've already made a wrong turn. So this is a good start. Natural History Museum. Cool.
The Natural History Museum is a free attraction while you're in London. I highly recommend going in. It takes about a whole day to see the entire museum. It is that grand.
There's a lot of people here. I'm not used to it. It's a little bit overwhelming, but I'm okay.
This was the art museum. I forgot exactly what it was called, but it was definitely downtown in London, and it had art from all different kinds of eras.
Cooked ham and a nice view.
All the museums that are free, that are national, are around the same block in London. So you can literally hop from the art museum to the Natural History Museum to the Science Center all in one day.
After visiting small town Switzerland, the amount of people at public attractions and on transport in London is a little bit stimulating and overwhelming. There's just so many people. Go home. I liked it when it was cold, when it was quieter. Hello, pigeon. I'm in this really high-end bougie place called Harold's, and it's only full of brand names and high-end stuff. We're talking Dior, Rolex, Chanel, really fancy cuisines. I got the hiccups. Bulgari, 5-star bars and stuff. It's quite popular, and it's a Friday night, so I can see why there are people that are interested in just kind of lounging about. It's been a really stressful day. I'm at the Tate Britain Art Museum.
I went to the Tate Britain Art Museum, and there were a lot of different art pieces to see. I'm always conflicted whenever I walk into a gallery because I want art to make me feel something. And often, in this museum at least, I felt confused and I felt nothing. Unfortunately, there was nothing that made me feel anything, although there was a lot to see. A lot of times I found myself trying to interpret the art or trying to understand what it was meant to be, mainly the abstract art. Does anyone else feel this when they walk into a gallery?
It's like a mini Niagara Falls here with all the attractions from Clifton Hill, some interactive adventures, some little shops and museums, experiences. You got a Ferris wheel called the London Eye. And you have the London Dungeon, which is like a haunted house, which I would really love to visit, but I don't know when and if I will. I've never seen an Amazon Fresh in person, and I just walked in, and what you do is you scan your barcode, which is on your Amazon app, you walk inside, you buy whatever the hell you want, they got groceries, and you walk out. No checkout, no cashier, nothing. And I got 2 sparkling waters made with lemon, because I was getting really, really thirsty. I am back. It's time to clean the house. I'm kind of tired. But here I am, gonna go through the motions. Hey, I'm in London. I'm at the National Gallery. And it occurred to me just now that being in a big city like this, where everybody's just too busy going about their day to really help you out, people are not intentional with their communications. You're answering before I'm finishing my sentence, my question. You're asking questions. They're just flying out of your mouth, but you don't really mean them. You're not tuned in. You're not tapped on. And it reminds me of why I wanted to leave Toronto, because Toronto was like this. Very much so. Being put back in this environment after going into a beautiful, more rural area like Switzerland. And it reminds me that I want to live open-heartedly. I want to show my wrists and show my scars and show my bleeding and show my joy. And I turned to the woman in the bathroom stall when she got out and I got out at the same time. And I had this thought that I really liked what she was wearing. And before leaving, I just turned around and I said, I really like your shirt. And she said, thank you. And I think I surprised her. And I really want more of those kind of interactions. I want more heart-based interactions. I want more listening. I want more comprehension. I want more understanding. I want more compassion. And being in a big city like London, I start to dull that. I start to not feel that connected anymore. And I can see why in a city full of so many people, I feel so disconnected. This is Trafalgar Square. It's absolutely nuts. Oh my God, London is crazy. I don't even know what's happening. And why people would feel so disconnected. I know my heart is not here in London. London is way different than what I thought. But I'm grateful to be here. And for the things that I am able to see, like the things I am able to appreciate, like the fact that it is huge. There's so many museums here, and they're huge. Whereas in Switzerland, things were tiny. It took me 30 minutes, 1 hour maximum to really see things. Things are grand here. I could come back to the same place 2 times in a row and read something I didn't read the first time. So that's really cool. The diversity is very cool here. And the liveliness, it is very lively. We have some crazy people here. But yeah, so going back to this message, I miss heart-based, intentional listening, connections, down-to-earth kind of feel. My heart's not here. I don't know where my heart is. It's probably still in Switzerland. But if I were to live anywhere, I want it to be in that sort of intentional community. Lively, yes. Maybe not as reserved as the Swiss, of course. Those are my thoughts. If you have any inkling of telling the person next to you, behind you, in front of you, I really like your voice, or it must take a lot of patience to wait for your toddler like that, or just anything nice, anything beautiful, don't discredit it, say it to them, just say it to them. Nothing's gonna happen, nothing bad's gonna happen. If anything, you make them smile for that day, and it could mean the world. And you open your heart up a little bit more, and show your skin, and show your softness, and show your beauty that way. I think that's what the world really needs more of. More listening, more vulnerability, more open-mindedness, more open-heartedness, more seeing. Okay, that's enough for now. I take stairs 2 at a time, always, even going up and down.
The travel on buses in London is generally okay. It's about $1 for the bus. It doesn't matter how long you stay on, 1 stop, 10 stops, whatever. So the further you go, I guess the more worth it is, but it's one pound. So it's okay, it's not bad. But if you are traveling between cities, it's absolutely horrendous. And in Switzerland, it doesn't matter. You can travel between cities, no problem. And it's, I wouldn't say it's a fair rate, but I would say it's less horrendous than traveling between cities here in England. I'm not sure about the UK, probably the UK in general. Traveling between cities, it's a little bit traumatic. So take the bus when you can, stay local. Yeah.
I'm going to see a musical for the very first time in my entire life. I've only ever been in a musical because when I was in high school, I went to an arts high school and I was in a musical, but I was always at the back. I never got any roles. I was always in the aisle. I was always in the dark. So I didn't have any characters to play. And now, for the first time, I am seeing a musical in London. This is called Come From Away. It is Canadian produced. And I'm really excited to see it. I was deciding between this one and seeing Book of Mormon, but Book of Mormon is longer, and because this one is already very far from home, by the time that it ends, it's going to be very late, and then I'll have to commute home. So I decided to see something a little bit shorter, which is Come From Away, which is also still a really good musical, is what I hear. We'll see. And one day, I'll get to see Book of Mormon. One day, I'll see Book of Mormon. I'm so excited to see this musical tonight.
Come From Away was the first musical I've ever seen live in real life, and it was phenomenal. Phenomenal. I'm so glad I got to see one in London where there's musicals left, right, and center. This one is about a story based on a airplane landing around 9/11, and this airplane landed in Newfoundland. It was not supposed to go to Newfoundland, but because of what happened, all the airplanes were paused en route to land at the nearest station. And this is based on a real life story. It was heartwarming and it definitely made me feel something.
And that was it. Come From Away. That was amazing. I really loved it. I thought there was going to be an intermission like they said on the website, but there wasn't, and it was fine. It was just, it got a little stuffy because there was no air conditioning. But I love, there were parts where I thought, oh, that is so sweet. They're falling in love. Or, oh, the chimpanzee lost its baby. Yeah, it was just, there's no main character, and I thought that was kind of strangely wonderful. There was just a whole mix of community, of people with different stories coming from different backgrounds, discovering parts of themselves and communal aspects within a small town. in Newfoundland, and it makes me so proud to be Canadian, and it really puts Newfoundland on the map for me to visit. It's my own home country, and yet I still haven't visited Newfoundland yet. So one day I would like to visit the Maritimes and taste their cod and their amazing seafood. Now it's an hour and a half back home. Let's go, Google Maps. My very first musical, Come From Away! I'm looking at so many other ones next, like Book of Mormon. I'm near Hampton Court and there's like a field of blackberries that are wild and I'm just kind of picking at them, collecting them. Wow, there's so many. You have to be careful because you get pricked a lot.
I had a really unique experience when I first landed in London because my host invited me to a spiritual festival, and I did go for one of the days. It was a sun and moon community where there was singing, there was meditation, there was workshops around finding your spirit guide, your spirit animal, forest bathing, yoga, anything woo-woo related. There was a workshop for that during this festival. I really loved the open-hearted community here that I was not able to find really in the center city of London.
Hey, remember how I said I was really excited for Linda in London? My camera just did a faceplant. That's exactly how I feel. It's not what I thought. I kind of feel like this little child that's been given an ice cream and then yanked away the ice cream. London is different. It's lively. There's a lot of people. It's very diverse. It's bustly. It's busy. And nobody gives a damn about you. And it broke my heart. And now I understand how people can be so disconnected and lonely in a really populated area. There are people left, right, and center, and no one is listening. No one has time for you. Everyone is tired, or too busy, or impatient to really get to know you. Everyone's to themselves. And I long to go and travel to places where there is community, where people are listening more than they are speaking, where people are generous. Really generous with their time and their energy and their money and their spirit. Even when I looked lost in a village, in a small village in Switzerland, people took initiative to come up to me and say, "Where are you going?" And if I had a list of questions at the ticket booth, at the train station, they will go through every single one of them, even if there were 20 people behind me. Not my fault. They would take it on themselves, just have more staff. Oh, we need more staff. It's not this lady is taking up everything, all of our resources. It's we need to up our staff. And they're much more patient. They're a little more slow as well. Now, Switzerland also has a few of its drawbacks, like the Swiss are not necessarily the warmest people and they're not the friendliest people. They're actually quite reserved and they're a little suspicious when you look a little too happy and you're a little too out there like me, yodeling at the top of my lungs, smiling at everybody. Hi! And it almost can come off as being cold, but if you need help and they can help you, they will help you. They're not necessarily friendly, but they're helpful and they're intentional. And when they say something, they do it. Otherwise, they don't say it. So they really mean what they say. And it's just a lot more gorgeous in general, I guess. London is great for a few days. But after that, right now, I'm just twiddling my thumbs waiting for the time to tick by. I'm counting the seconds instead of making the seconds count until my next train to a smaller town. And maybe I'll have a different experience of the UK. But so far, Linda in London, Netflix, don't stream that show. I'd much rather have Linda in Switzerland. And now I know that when I travel, I definitely want to go to a place where, number one, there's AC, number two, there are kind-hearted people, number three, it's not just city all the time, and it's not country all the time. Somewhere in between. I need both. A little bit of a city, but then some nature. So healing. So these are my thoughts coming from London. My next destination is a smaller town called Folkestone. It's a small town towards the east of London. And then I'm going towards the west, so I'm passing through London and I'm going to Winchester. And then after Winchester, I'm going to Bristol for a few days, and after Bristol, Linda in Scotland. So many thoughts on my mind. I just kind of want to silence them and be decided on what's next. And be at peace with that decision. I'm still looking at places to stay and tickets and prices and attractions that I can afford and commute time, things like that. Yeah, so I'm a little bit disappointed at London, but we'll see what's in store next. I'm coming back to Switzerland, so not an option. I'm coming back to Switzerland. Have you ever been disappointed? I'm here to tell you, it's okay. We've all been disappointed. And we get to be disappointed. We get a colorful life. We don't get a gray, boring, there is no heartbeat kind of life.
They told me Richmond Park was going to be a little bit different than the city feel of London. So here I am in Richmond Park, and it's a park. It's the parks that I'm typically used to on flatlands in a city. And there's some deer/antelopes here. Dasher. That's Dancer. And then we have a whole host over there. Oh, hello. So Richmond Park looks like this. It's a different kind of beauty than the mountains and the rivers and the colorfulness and saturation of Switzerland. This one is a little more yellow. It's different. I'm trying to process it. I'm trying to learn how to appreciate this kind of beauty as well. After coming back from Switzerland, everything is kind of a letdown. But I'm trying to appreciate everything. Even if it was just concrete buildings. Appreciation. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be here. It's really hot.
Finally, it came time for me to say goodbye to London. I was so psyched to say peace out, to be honest, because I wanted to find some connection outside of the city. I could not find any in the city. And when I left, I certainly did. And you'll find out how soon. Bye. And we're gonna be in Folkestone. See you next time.